Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod here to talk about The Traitors Season 3, Episode 12, The Reunion. In the previous finale, Traitors, Danielle, and Brittany were banished, leading to a four-way faithful win between Ivor, Dolores, Gabby, and Dylan. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist where you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. My videos aren't meant to replace the original content, so I encourage you to watch the show on Peacock to form your own opinion. This reunion was kind of all over the place. They moved from topic to topic really quickly, so don't blame me for that. But let's get started. Alan hands things off to Andy Cohen, who introduces that the entire cast is watching on from a drawing room. The reunion starts off with just the winners. Dolores, the first housewife winner, says this is the biggest thing she's ever done. Andy calls her out for basically playing a bad game and voting wrong 8 out of 10 times. She says she was just voting for Tom because he pissed her off. Andy calls Dylan the breakout babyface of the season. Okay. Gabby tells us her experience on The Bachelor helped her to sniff out the BS in the game. Ivor is surprised that he won. So is Ayan in the sidelines. So am I at home. Andy summons in the original traitors who all look great, which leads to my best dressed award for the reunion, which would have to go to Bob the drag queen with this blood on the hands look. Andy is annoyed with the traitors for targeting the housewives early. Bob takes accountability for that, leading to a montage of the traitors not being able to get along about anything. They hash out the traitors infighting. Danielle felt like Carolyn and Rob were colluding, but Carolyn claims no collusion. She didn't want to go with the survivors, and Carolyn laments about how she's not taken seriously, which is a blessing and a curse in these games. Andy asks Carolyn if she feels like Danielle respected her. Carolyn doesn't. Danielle is really gentle handling this and gives Carolyn her props, telling Carolyn that people really do listen to her, but Carolyn still feels low. Dolores encourages her, telling Carolyn that she should feel good about herself because she is number 7 in the world on Cameo. If Carolyn is number 7 on Cameo, Corey King, Susie Toot has to be at least 6. I was really in the mood for some Bob on Rob fighting that we didn't really get at this reunion. Rob owns that he started the trend of traitors turning on each other. Bob the drag queen owns having a loud and domineering personality. Bob felt like she could basically run the game. Rob admits that he could have had more self-control and not gone against Bob so quickly. Andy is surprised they even kept Rob as long as they did, but Rob defends himself, saying he'll always be loyal to his allies. Jeremy and Danielle both take issue with this and feel like he's a liar. Andy asks Danielle why she was being so messy. They tell a story about Danielle and Dolores swearing on each other's families. Danielle owns swearing on her grandkids. She doesn't care, she was trying to win the money. Danielle is fully leaning into her Real Housewives persona at this reunion, putting on a great reunion performance. Enter recruited traitor Brittany in a custom blue gown. They get right to Brittany voting Danielle out. Dolores denies shooting Brittany eye signals to vote out Danielle. Bob comes to Danielle's defense, and Brittany asks Bob if he even watches the show, because Bob would have obviously seen Dolores's look. Bob says, yes, I watched the show, Tamar. They bring up reindeer games, of course. Danielle alleges she and Brittany had a relationship before reindeer games, but Brittany disagrees, saying that they spent 3 hours together combined before that, and Danielle acts like they'd been friends for years to make Brittany look bad. So Brittany and Danielle had met before reindeer games to film a 5-minute skit with Frankie Grande for Big Brother. They probably did only hang out for 3 hours. Brittany regrets how things went and wells up talking about it. Danielle seems understanding, but Danielle says if they ever play again, she'll never trust Brittany. I don't think they'll ever play again or put these two on The Amazing Race. Andy brings up rumors that Danielle broke her NDA and told Brittany that she was a traitor, which they both deny. Did they want them to admit they broke their NDA? But let's pump in some faithfuls. We talk to Tom, who really seems to have turned around some public opinion on himself. Andy reads some sweet fan mail for him, and they play funny clips of Tom singing to the dolls. The Bambis are there. Chriselle is called out for turning on her friend Nikki, which she regrets, and they hug it out. It's nice. Brittany calls the Bambis an exclusive group that she couldn't get into. Andy calls Wes's exit speech epic. Remember Danielle's hat? Whoever did the seating chart messed up because Derek is sat behind Bob's giant wig and can't be seen in some shots, which was funny. Bob insulted Zac Efron's acting on the show. Dylan relays a message that Zac Efron told Bob that she'd enjoy Baywatch. Andy suggests that Dylan gets into drag as misguided, which would have been such a fun thing to actually do on this reunion show. Then they bring in everyone else that's there, all of whom should have been out there the entire time. Dorinda is annoyed with Bob. She feels like Bob was negative to her after murdering her because Bob said he didn't know who Dorinda is. They go back and forth with Bob saying they really didn't know each other. Bob says she doesn't need to diminish anyone to get screen time, and Ayan chimes in because the cameras are on. Ayan stands up and gets activated at Bob, asking the group to raise their hands if she made them laugh. They all do, but Bob shuts Ayan down by telling her that when her comedy special comes out, he'll be the first one to watch it. They show a montage mainly of challenges, but they get back to the same conversation they were having. Dorinda and Bob saying they don't know each other, and Ayan talking, but Will says Ayan is the best person he ever met on any show. They call Rob the worst dressed player, which I do agree with after the sweatsuit debacle. Sierra has been watching TikTok videos of young Rob, saying he was hot. Bob the drag queen says they would not take that past tense comment if they were Rob. They try to get the Survivor men to hash out their issues, but they're all cool with everything from their experience being gamers. They show clips of the faithful trusting and being fooled by the traitors. Andy asks Tony and Derek if their careers as cops helped them in the game. Derek is humble, but Bob gives Derek props for conducting an investigation and figuring everything out, which is true. Bob Harper calls Dylan out for being in Boston Rob's pocket in the middle of the game. Now, Dylan and Rob have a love affair online where they have a bromance. Rob jokes that Bob Harper is jealous and they move right on. Andy gives Sam credit for being a good player and almost catching and exposing Carolyn as a traitor, and they relitigate Tom ruining Sam's strategy and accidentally saving Carolyn's ass. They present an award, giving the award for best performance of a traitor this season, ultimately giving the award to Danielle for her performance all the effing time. She gives a whole performative speech complete with fake tears that I'm sure most of the viewers at home and on Twitter really enjoyed. The other players come to Danielle's defense, giving her credit for surviving 8 roundtables as a traitor, especially Robin, who thinks Danielle doesn't deserve to be getting so much hate online because she had all of them fooled. Back to the winners, who give their final thoughts, which is sweet. Andy gives Dylan credit for coming into his own and making a name for himself, and Gabby preaches girl power, feeling like the women really came into their own this season. The reunion ends there, and I will say I did enjoy season 3 more than season 2, but the season 2 reunion was much better than this. This was alright. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the reunion and this season as a whole? In conclusion, I want to thank all of you for watching my videos this season. Traitors is one of the funnest shows for me to cover. If you like these videos and aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. We'll have a Traitors season 4 cast before you know it. I'm also recapping Deal or No Deal Island, Survivor 48, and the Challenge All Stars 5. You know where to find me. Bye!